Absolutely. I think the tough part, Sweet Berry, is that, will they be able to even determine where these two people were murdered? Their bodies were found in the back of the truck, but that doesn't mean they were murdered in Georgia. So, don't know. But it certainly caught my eye, and it seems that some of you have seen the news as well. And it's, I have to tell you, it is a crime that I've been following very closely since when it happened. So that is everything that I brought to the agenda tonight. All that is left is to talk about this Friday's disappearance. Gail is asking, I just tuned in. What's your channel about? Disappearances. That's what it's about, Gail. Thank you for tuning in. That's what we do. Unfound. Got a lot of videos on this channel, but that's what the channel is about. Missing persons cases. Live show that I'm doing right now is a little more above a buffet of things, but primarily all the videos on Unfound channel are about true crime and missing persons cases. So this Friday, we will be going to the great state of Ohio. We've covered a lot of disappearances there. Of course, just a couple months ago, we had Kelly Bruce on the program to talk about Brian Schaefer. So we're going back there to Cadiz, Ohio, Cadiz. And it is the disappearance of Shawn Antill, Antill. He disappeared on December 23rd, 2017, and the guest will be his aunt, Julie Scott. And this being that I brought up Kelly Bruce, Kelly was the person who put me in touch with Julie, and they've known each other for a while, and Kelly has been helping Shawn's, at least his father's side of his family, figure out what happened to Shawn. This is one of those cases where it's kind of like Noah Davis's. Shawn Antill led a rough life. He was in and out of jail quite a bit, probably into drugs. A lot of people are around him, same way. And in fact, just 2 weeks before he went missing, he had committed a crime with another guy, Preston Yates, and the police were looking for Shawn. But on the 23rd, Shawn and Preston were together, and the original story was that Shawn, Preston's sister, were in the car together, and they were going somewhere in Ohio on Route 250, going toward Cadiz. And Shawn said that he wanted out of the car, was having some sort of bad drug trip or something. They stopped the car. He got out. He ran off, never came back. So that was the first story. But then the very next day, after that report was filed, Preston's sister came back into police and said, no, that is not true. That did not happen. I did not see Shawn that day. So Preston was then forced to change his story and said that he and Shawn were in Preston's own vehicle and they were getting chased. And he ran off this dirt road and ran into this fence. The fence stopped them and they got out to run off. One went one direction, Preston went the other. Shawn was never seen again. And of course, Preston doesn't say who was chasing them or anything else. But the issue is there is proof that Preston's vehicle did hit that fence. So, but why wouldn't he just tell that story in the first place? We don't know. But that is the disappearance. And in fact, if you go to the Charlie Project and look this disappearance up, you will find the first version of the story, that Shawn was with Preston's sister, and they were going somewhere, and they pulled over the side of the road, and Shawn got out and ran away. But that was the first story, but that is not the current story as of 2021. And this is a disappearance from late 2017, so we're quickly coming up on the 4-year anniversary. And the title of this episode is Getting the Better Of, because it does seem in these types of disappearances, once again, Noah Davis and a bunch, Shanna Boydo, a bunch of disappearances like this one, Brennan Smokey, that it does feel like these people who are career criminals, who deal in drugs and are just not the greatest people on this earth, they do seem to get the better of us in these cases. It seems like they are able to do things that just do not seem possible, and they fool the rest of us. And so in this episode, at least in my summation at the end, I talk a little bit about this and what I think's going on and why this happens. So once again, Shawn Antill, Antill, from Cadiz, Ohio. The title of the episode is Getting the Better Of. Happened December 23rd, 2017, and the guest is Shawn's aunt, Julie Scott, who is also in the discussion group. Gail, I just tuned in. Okay, Cadiz is where Clark Gable was born. I did not know that, Charlotte. Thank you for that factoid. Gail says, Orrin and Orson West missing out of Bakersfield, California, 3 and 4 years old, foul play suspected, but sightings of boys have happened. Gail, the adopted parents, lawyered up, refused to search and refused lie detector test. Gail, how recent are these disappearances of these little boys, Orrin and Orson West? I have to admit that the names do not ring a bell. When did this happen? Recently? Last year? Maybe that would help any of us who want to look it up. So what would we do tonight on this live show post Hurricane Elsa? Told you about playing some very wet disc golf this past weekend. By the way, I'm not playing in another disc golf tournament until the middle of August. It'll be nice to have some time off. Hurricane Elsa, I was unimpressed. Still doing good on my diet, on my weight. July 4th was very nice. Watching the show Loki on Disney Plus. I would encourage people to watch it. Of course, you'd have to get Disney Plus to subscribe to it first. Talked about Tom Brown quite a bit, obviously. The funny T-Mobile story, Vanessa Orrin. Audio version of the newsletter tomorrow. Patreon.com/Unfound Podcast. Did the audio blog today. Please check out the Find Jody podcast for the couple latest episodes. The 628-page FOIA is getting done. I don't know when I'm going to get it, though. New video here on the YouTube channel is Unfound on the Ground. The last one from June. Also a FOIA for Rebecca Gary's disappearance that one of the think tank members has filed, and I think it's on the way to her. Talked about the Virginia parents who hid their dead son in their freezer for 2 years. Talked about the murder of a golf pro in Georgia. Very confusing case. Took some questions from Jill, Charla, Beth, and Sherry, and then finished up, as we usually do, giving you a preview of this Friday's episode, The Disappearance of Shawn Antill. That's all I got. Let me see what within 4 months.